lot of times my issue is people are not setting goals that will be something that somebody who becomes rich or could do anything. You got to be excited about working on that for 10 years. So you got to have a big enough goal that you attract the best people and you retain them and you keep them focused. And then in my experience, you don't go wrong. Maybe you don't hit it next year, or maybe you fail entirely and you discover something more exciting to work on with the same set of people.
One of the things that I'd been through as a student was some leadership training, and one of the things they taught us was to not be afraid of failure, and instead to have the goal to fail a lot quickly, and then eventually you'll succeed. And I sort of took this to heart, and they also had a slogan called "Healthy Disregard for the Impossible." And they actually made you write down sort of the things you would do that were kind of impossible, but you thought you might really accomplish. Even if you don't succeed, we actually tried many things that didn't work. Google happened to work pretty well, but there are many things that we did that didn't, but we don't worry about those, right? Because we tried many things. So I just encourage you to take a little more risk in life, and I think if you do it often enough, it will really pay off. We always try to concentrate on the long term, what we're doing for the long term. And I think that many of the things we started up that are really big now, like Chrome, were seen as kind of crazy when we launched them. And so how do we decide what to do? How do we decide what's really important to work on? Well, I like to call the toothbrush test. So the toothbrush test is, do you use it as often as you use your toothbrush? And for most people, I guess that's twice a day. Raise your hand. Twice a day? Yeah. Okay, most people. So I think, we really want things like that. And I think things like Gmail, obviously, use much more than twice a day. And YouTube, I think that those things are amazing. And I think that, we look at things like YouTube, people thought, oh, you guys are never going to make money with that. You bought it for $1.4 billion. You're totally crazy. And we were reasonably crazy, but it was a good bet. We've actually been doubling revenue every year on YouTube for 4 years. Google's mission is to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful. And one of the things that surprised me, that's a very broad mission. It's a lot of work. We're not going to achieve it anytime soon, right? It's almost an impossible task. But it's an exciting task, and one that you can get other people excited about, and they can help you. And one of the things that also surprised me is it's sometimes easier to do something that's harder because other people get excited about it, and you can get much more resource. You can get tremendous resources to solve a hard problem, whereas you might only get minor resources to solve a small problem. Recently I reorganized a bit to focus on product areas, and I think, in any company as it grows, if the company's not static, which it shouldn't be, as it grows and it changes, you need to reorganize it. And just the question is, are you keeping ahead of that? And looking at our business is pretty complicated. We have all these different products. We have advertising, we have search, we have Chrome, we have Android, we have YouTube, and so on. And those things are actually relatively different, have different things going on. So I think, I kind of moved that up a level in the company and made sure that we were super focused in each of those areas on what our user experience was. And I think that's helped. Just generally, as you switch to a company, as we got more offices, as we got time zone differences, we had to change how we did our meetings, change how we do our employee communications, and so on. So I just think, in a technology business growing rapidly, you just need to make sure you're changing everything. You're being responsive to that change and changing everything, every year, or else you're just not keeping up with it.
I want to talk about dreams for a second. And in my case, literally a dream. When I was in college, I was sure that I'd been admitted by a clerical error, probably a computer error. But it turns out, because of that anxiety, I woke up literally with a dream. It was kind of a strange dream. It went like I think I could download the entire web onto some old computers that were lying around. And that would probably seem pretty crazy to most people, but I stayed up a couple hours in the middle of the night doing some math, and it seemed actually pretty plausible. And of course, it took a year or two. But at the end of that, we had a way to rank web pages, and no thoughts to search at all. And eventually, search entered the picture, and you know the rest. And that became Google. So I'd like to encourage everyone to follow their dreams.
You know, anything you can imagine probably is doable, right? You just have to imagine it and work on it. And things that we thought were almost impossible. So we were interested in machine translation. So we really focused on that problem. And we focused on it and we developed Google Translate. And we found some machine learning researchers and we said, do you think you can translate, between any languages and do it better than an average human translator? And they laughed at us. And 6 years later, we can translate between 64 languages. And it's amazing, actually. Many languages were better than an average human translating. We do it instantly and for free. And so I'm just trying to give you, I guess I'm tremendously optimistic that whatever things we try to challenge, whatever challenges we try to take on, we can solve with a little bit of concerted effort and some good technology.